What is a civil standby? You may be asking yourself that. And if you're asking yourself that about a case in Seattle or anywhere in Washington state, this is the video for you. My name is Lance Fryrear, and I'm a defense attorney. I have a law firm in Lynnwood, Washington. We've been defending people charged with crimes for more than 20 years. And oftentimes we get a call about a civil standby. And what does that mean? And when does it apply? And I'm just really confused, is oftentimes what people say to us on the phone. So I thought I'd make this video to go over three things. Number one, what is a civil standby and when might one come up? Number two, some pitfalls to avoid about a civil standby, what it is and what it isn't. And number three, if you've sort of exhausted your civil standby option, what are some other options to try to get the rest of your property? Because really what a civil standby is, it's about getting property from a place that has somebody in it that doesn't want to see you or you're not allowed to see. So if you find this video useful, please like and please subscribe. It helps me get more videos out there to people, more people to see it. And now I'm going to jump right into the meat of the situation. So what is a civil standby? What does that mean? Well, the way I like to think about it is in a case where a person has been served with a no contact order or has been arrested and told not to go home, and you have a condition of release that says not to go back to a certain location, oftentimes the order or the condition of release will allow for a civil standby for the restrained person, the suspect, to obtain some of their property. And you may not be a suspect if you're watching this. You might have just got served with a civil no contact order. Somebody went to court and got a restraining order against you. It also applies in that situation. And so think about it. You weren't planning to get served with an order. You weren't planning to get arrested. And now all your stuff is at a certain location and you're not allowed to go there. So what do? Well, if your order that you've been given in writing says you're allowed one civil standby, what that means is you're allowed to call the police department of the local jurisdiction and ask them to go to the property with you. It would otherwise typically be a violation of the order to go to the property. Usually there's a distance restraint. And the officer will go with you for a short period of time to pick up essentials. It doesn't mean picking up furniture. It doesn't mean picking up your kids. It means essentials. And we'll go into a little bit more of what that means. And if you don't have a checked off of a civil standby listed, then you're definitely going to want to talk to an attorney and have them figure out what the situation is. So number two, what are the common pitfalls that we see about a civil standby? Because there's almost no instructions. It really doesn't say anything. So the way I like to think about it is this, is that let's say you have an order that says you can't go within 500 feet of of your residence, because that's where your stuff is. You've been arrested or you've been kicked out due to a no contact order. Well, and you don't have anything. Well, a pitfall would be going closer to 500 feet to the residence and then calling the police for a civil standby because you'd be in violation of the order when the officers got there. So you don't want to do that. So what you want to do is read the order closely. If you're not sure what it means, contact an attorney. You can call our office if you want. Read it closely, and then you need to be at a legal position when you contact the police department. You can call 911 and ask to be transferred to the non-emergency number. You can try a non-emergency number if you can find it. There's often not a phone number in the paperwork because they're catch-all paperwork. So if you live in the city of Lynnwood, well, who do you call? If you live in the city of Lynnwood, you call Lynnwood Police if the residence is there. If the residence is in Seattle, you'd call the Seattle Police. If it's in an unincorporated area, just the county, then you'd probably have to call the sheriff. And so if you call the wrong place to begin with, don't worry, they'll try to help you find the right place. But you're going to call up the police department and say, hey, I have an order against me, but I have a one-time civil standby. Can you tell me how you do it? And what do you want me to do? And then follow their instructions. Another pitfall we see is people who have a civil standby expecting to be able to get too much of their stuff or not being nice to the police. I mean, this is discretionary with the police, how long they're going to let you go there to get things and what they're going to let you get. Uh, I think it's intended to let you get some clothes, your toiletries, your medication, maybe your work stuff, your work tools, your work computer, your phone charger, things like that. But figure you're probably going to be allowed 10 or 15 minutes to grab essentials. And if the other party isn't there to let you in, isn't there to agree, there can be another problem. So in that case, you might want to contact an attorney again. And you also want to be nice to the officer. Don't be a jerk because they have discretion. They could let you go for 20 or 30 minutes or for 5 or 10 minutes. And so just realize that the officer doesn't have any skin in the game. They're just there to try to keep the peace and let you get your things. Uh, do not talk to the protected party when you're there. That's another pitfall. When the officer's there, it's sort of think about it like an exception. Well, I'm allowed to be in this distance right now because I'm executing my one written civil standby. But that doesn't mean you can talk to the protected party or the victim. You can't gesture at them. Don't do something that violates the order in the view of the police officer. That would be another pitfall. So number 3, and thanks for staying to the end, is now what? How do I get the rest of my stuff? I did my civil standby. I went and got a few pieces of clothing, but most of my stuff is there, and I might be out of the house for 3 months. So what do I do? How do I take care of this? And so, while no video can be legal advice, there are some pointers that we see that might be helpful. So if you need advice, call an attorney. You can call our office. But some pointers would be, it is not necessarily third-party contact if someone carefully tries to pick up stuff on your behalf without passing a message to the protected party. So if you're a restrained person and I'm your friend, I might be able to go to that residence and say, hey, do you mind if I pick up some extra stuff that my friend needs? I'm not saying, let's say the friend is named Bill, the restrained party. I'm not saying, Bill asked me to come here. Well, that would be third-party contact. If I were to just show up and say, hey, would you mind if I get some more Bill stuff? If that protected party agrees, then that person can get the stuff. If there's children involved, it's about visitation, you're worried about that. Hey, if Bill's kid would like to see him, I can make that happen. Again, it's careful. You have to walk a thin line there. But again, what's illegal is communicating a message from you to the protected party. Other people are not restrained. They can do what they want. But again, contact an attorney, see what you should do. If you don't have cooperation from the restrained party, then you're pretty much stuck. The protected party, you're pretty much stuck. Then you're just going to have to toughen out typically. So I hope you find this helpful. If you find yourself with a civil standby situation, you may be in a situation where you need an attorney. If so, you can give our office a call. Again, we've been doing this for more than 20 years. If you find this video useful, please please subscribe. It gets more of my message out there and more people get help. If you have this problem, feel free to call us. We'll do whatever we can, and we'll be there for you. Thank you.